Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Elivaras, a senior player moderator for the game League of Angels Fire Raiders. Today is the day after the first cross server, the first new Ultimate Tournament battles, and I would like to share some of my first impressions on what I think of the battles, especially after reading some comments that other people have had. I'd like to go over some of the positives and the negatives on this new Ultimate Tournament. So while I do that, I'm going to do some of my daily stuff here. So, yeah, I guess you'll have some kind of background footage to watch. So, I'm going to start with the positives. Overall, I'd say the setup is really cool. Going through the, seeing the group stages and then going to the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the division finals, and then moving into the actual championship finals. The overall setup's really cool, and I really like the build-up that happens to it. I like that there are rewards for everyone. Even though it may not be a lot, if you just participate, you're still going to get a reward of a minimum of 300 tokens. I managed to score 6th place in my group, so obviously nowhere near getting into the top 32. But it was better than I thought I was going to do. And I got 340 tokens, so most free-to-plays I'd say would fall between the 8th place to the 16th place in their groups, depending on how long they've been playing and if they're on a new or old server. Or depending on if they join their server near the beginning and have played since then. Even though it's not a whole ton of rewards, I still like the fact that there are rewards for everyone. What am I thinking about doing here? Right, okay. So I would say that there is a definite improvement to the battle logs. I'd actually like to go look at that. Actually, I don't know if I can look at that anymore. Oh, the tournament's already happened. Wonder if we can... Okay, yeah, detailed info. I'm a really big fan of this. This is really, really cool. Seeing how much damage each hero or angel did, and then seeing how many kills each one scored, and then having an MVP, I really, really like that. I think it's a definite, massive improvement to the battle logs that have happened in the past. You're not just like, oh, what happened in this battle? Was it a close battle? Who got what kills? Who really pulled their weight? I think that's a really, really cool new feature. I think... another thing, this could be a good thing or a bad thing, but there's no such thing as the attacker's advantage. So if you're on... So actually, in the context of this tournament only, I would say it's a good thing. Here's my reasoning. So, there are only EU and NA servers. What that means is that anyone who lives, for example, in oceanic time zones, so like Australia... I believe is an oceanic time zone. Anyone who lives in those time zones will have a very hard time actually participating in playing the tournament, just because the actual tournament stages go on at 2:30 a.m. in the morning for them. They can't stay up that late to play every day. So could be a reason why the things are automatic, and in that sense it's a good thing. And then there's also no such thing as an attacker's advantage, because obviously those people that live in those time zones could not take advantage of an attacker's advantage. Let me just get my setup going here. I think we'll go with... Oh, we'll go like that. So yeah, there's no such thing as attacker's advantage. In this tournament only, I would say that's a good thing, just because there's people who live in other time zones that may not be able to take advantage of this. Oh, connection failed. I also like the fact that this tournament is every day. It gives a new thing for people to look forward to, another thing that they can compete in. So, no, opponent's ranking changed. Oh, because I beat him? Okay, guess we'll watch it. So now let's hop into the negatives. One big issue that pops out right away is that it's not super engaging. Really, there's not much you're doing. You're just hitting the sign up button. and then your heroes are just fighting, and you literally just go in and look at the battle logs and say, oh, I won, oh, I lost, yippee, or boo. Like, you're really not doing anything, especially if you're VIP. You're not even hitting sign up. Like, you're literally just... If you're a VIP, you're just constantly in it every single day. That leads me to another negative, is that VIPs will continue to stay in the battles. And what this means... Oh, there's a nice ultimate by Dragon Queen there. The VIPs will continue to stay in the battles, and what this means is that even long after they quit, they'll keep being automatically signed up for these battles. And even when they stop playing, it's like now you've got these super high-level VIPs that don't even play the game anymore, that are restricting other players from being able to actually, you know, get higher, because they're facing AFK opponents that are way stronger than them. So that's definitely a downside that I would like to mention, and that's something that GT Arcade will have to fix, because as people start to quit, if they're a VIP and being automatically signed up, then that means that they're, yeah, like what I said before, that free-to-plays or low spenders. Oh, look at that. Highest record. I'm happy with that. I wonder how to take a screenshot on this computer. I think it's like that. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Got first time rank 1. Pretty epic. Okay, so moving away from that. So I've mentioned not super engaging, no interactivity. I've mentioned VIPs can keep being auto-signed. Another thing I'd like to mention is that I'm not super keen on the morale feature. It's already hard enough for free-to-plays and low spenders to get up there, and it's already hard enough for, I mean, for the pay-to-play players, the ones who are at the top already don't need something else to keep them at the top. If they're at the top, it's because their teams are ridiculously strong, and I don't think they need to have the option to pay even more to make their teams even stronger. Like, I just don't see the need in that. So, yeah, not super keen on the morale feature. I would say this tournament, another downside, is that it's extremely hard for free-to-plays and low spenders. Obviously, me, even as one, I don't spend money on the game. Like, I'm a VIP 0, but I've gotten a nice gem income from being a moderator. And even then, I'm hitting rank 6 in my group. You need, like, I've heard stories, okay, and this is ridiculous. I've heard stories of people getting 449 points, or 450 points out of the possible 450, and not even qualifying for the next stage, for the top 32. That is utterly ridiculous, especially if you're a spender. You know, you're like, you spend so much money to get up here, and you get a perfect score, and you can't even get in. And that brings me to the next point, which is, there's way too many servers. Like, if I went into mine, I'm on server 47. I'm facing people in server 62. That's 15 servers ahead of mine. That's utterly ridiculous. Like, why am I facing people in server 62? And that leads you with these stacked matchups of you being the highest level, potentially level 86, versus everyone that's level 79 minus. Like, what the heck is this? It's utterly ridiculous, and it makes it so unfair for some of these other leveled people, where, honestly, like, the servers need to be grouped in way less. Like, it's got to be, like, groups of 5 to 7 servers maximum. Like, that's the absolute max. I would not go any higher than that. Right now, it's 3 times too much. There's way too many servers. And this brings me back to the point I mentioned before, where this is way too hard for free-to-plays and low spenders. If there are 15 servers, all with a group of high-level spenders, and not even those spenders can get into the top, there is absolutely no way that a free-to-play or low spender can get into the top 32. There is no way, because if some of these ridiculously high spenders can't get in, free-to-plays can't get in. So this tournament is way too hard for free-to-plays. And that brings me to another issue, and that's the shop. So if I was to go into the shop in a few seconds, once I do my boosts here. So if I was to go into the shop, right, and I go down to the Ultimate Tournament shop. So, on average, a free-to-play every day for this tournament will get between 300 to 340 tokens. Okay? So what can you buy with that? Well, you can buy one rune crystal large. Like, what? Honestly, this is the... Why? One rune crystal? One large rune crystal? That... Like... Man, I just don't even know what to say. One amethyst. Okay, I guess if you're short on gold, that's not too bad. For 200, I mean, you can get one every day, so it's like... And then every 2 days, you can get another one, so... I guess it's okay, but... Nothing to be super happy about. Boost gems, 100 for 500. That's about 2 days. And then every 4 days, you can get an extra. Or 4 or 5 days, you can get an extra. But to be honest, I mean, you can get 100 out of 1 day's worth of hero trials, which is something I need to do. I just remembered. So, really, these three, this is the best out of those three, right? But here's the issue. That is the end of the affordable things for free-to-plays. Like, really. I mean, these, I think, could be decently priced depending... Because I'm 89, so I have not gotten up to the stages where I can actually get these three. So I don't know how much they're actually worth, or how hard they are to get. If these are decently hard to get in the normal stages, then 5,000 for them is pretty good. That's like... What is that? About 10... Probably about 16, 17 days. I'd say about 17 days. About 17 days to get these. So, I guess it might be a little too much, but we'll have to see. Depending on how hard they get and how hard they are to get in the normal map, that could be too much. One thing I like to focus on here, Draconia. 3,000 for 5. What the heck is that? 3,000 for 5. That is on average 10 days for free to play to get 5 soul stones. That's 140 days to get a 3-star Draconia. That's like a little bit more than a third of a year. What? A third of a year to get a 3-star Draconia? Like, are you kidding me? That is utterly ridiculous. And think about it. The spenders that are actually winning this tournament are getting about, I think it's almost 2,000. They're getting 1,500 for first place, 400 for winning their group stage. So they can buy 5 of for being first in this tournament. They can buy 5 of these every 2 days with an extra one every 3rd day. Or every 2nd day, something like that. That's a little bit ridiculous, honestly. Like, jeez. Okay. Yeah, so that's ridiculous. So, overall, I think it's an interesting tournament. I like the setup. I like that there's rewards for everyone. I like that. The highlight of this tournament for me, battle logs, 100%. Like, they are miles better than the old battle logs were. I like these battle logs a lot more, and you've heard me say that a lot of times. So yeah, battle logs are way better. That's the thing I'd like to take away from this. Sorry. So, there's no such thing as the attacker's advantage. For people that live in oceanic time zones, this is a good thing. The fact that you're auto-signed up is a good thing for people that live in oceanic time zones or other time zones where the actual group stages take place in the middle of the night for them, where they can't actually go on, so that's a plus. The fact that it's every day makes it something that you can constantly come back to. You're not waiting a week in between each one, like with the, you're not waiting a week in between each one, like with like the current cross server. Negatives, to sum it up, it's not super engaging. There's zero interactivity, literally zero. I'm not super keen on the morale feature. It's very hard for free-to-plays and low spenders to get anywhere near, especially because there's way too many servers participating in this. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how many servers are in this. Those need to be cut down astronomically. And the fact that there's no interactivity, plus every single day, makes this a boring feature. If you're not doing anything, and it happens every day, you start to not care. So something needs to be done to make it more engaging. And there's not enough in the shop for free-to-plays. There's not enough affordable stuff in the shop for free-to-plays that are actually worthwhile to get. Because you've got these things like amethyst and rune crystals are absolutely useless. Like, why would you want to buy one rune crystal or one amethyst and waste your hard-earned tokens for that? And a big thing that needs patching immediately is the fact that VIPs will get automatically signed up, and when they quit, they'll keep getting automatically signed up. You get this level 95, that wins the tournament every single time, who isn't even playing the match. That needs to be fixed ASAP. Like, that needs to go. Something needs to be done about that. I don't know about, honestly, VIPs being able to auto-sign. Like, I don't even know if that's necessarily a good, like, are VIPs really that lazy that they can't hit sign up? Or do they really need something that hits sign up for them? Like, yeah, I don't think so. So yeah, those are my thoughts. I'd like to hear what you all think in the comments about this. It's definitely an interesting feature. There's definitely some good things, but there's also some bad things that need fixing. I'd like to hear what you guys think. I thank you for taking a little part out of your day to watch my video. I know this has been a little bit of a long one, so I might have repeated a few things a few times, so I apologize for that since I was a little bit distracted doing some of this stuff. So I thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good day. See you guys.